Sterling Academy wasn't just a private school. It was the crown jewel of elite education in America. Tucked away on sprawling grounds shaded by red maples and cobblestone paths, its Gothic architecture loomed like a fortress, isolated from the world beyond its tall, black iron gates. Security cameras tracked every inch, and luxury cars lined up daily to deliver students from families who ran corporations, held office, or graced the covers of international magazines. To them, Sterling wasn't school, it was a forge where they were groomed to wield power and shape the future in their image. Within those gates, lineage mattered more than grades, and social class defined worth. Those who belonged wore tailored uniforms and multi-million-dollar watches. They held legacy surnames and old money confidence. And they all agreed. Sterling was for the right kind of people. Naomi Blake knew she wasn't their kind. She was from the south side of Chicago, raised by a nurse and a former Marine. She earned her spot at Sterling through relentless effort and a full academic scholarship. But from the moment she stepped onto campus with her worn-out sneakers and fraying backpack, she felt the eyes. Some were curious, others disdainful. Most were indifferent. To many, she was a token proof that Sterling embraced diversity. A charity case. But Naomi didn't flinch. She walked those stone paths with her head high, ignoring the glances and whispers. She poured herself into her studies, aced every test, joined debate and martial arts clubs, and trained before sunrise in the gym. Her father had taught her early. The world wouldn't give her anything, she'd have to earn it. But Sterling had its own hidden rules. Beneath the prestige and polished reputations was a shadow system. One boy ruled it all. Grayson Hale. Heir to the Hale global empire, a conglomerate that spanned media, banking, and infrastructure, Grayson wasn't just wealthy. He was power incarnate. He moved through Sterling with cold precision, never raising his voice but always getting what he wanted. He handpicked the student council, orchestrated policy shifts, and could ruin a student's life with a single rumor. Teachers deferred to him. Peers feared him. And nobody crossed him. At first, he didn't notice Naomi, one of many scholarship students. But that changed when she spoke up in a council meeting. Her insights in a policy debate drew unexpected praise from Sienna Ward, Grayson's ex-girlfriend and former confidant. That moment cracked something in his perfect world. Naomi became a threat. She didn't play by the unspoken rules. She didn't lower her eyes or flinch when Grayson passed. She didn't defer, and in Sterling, defiance was dangerous. So Grayson set his plan in motion. It began subtly, a cold glance, a strategic comment, a planted rumor. But Naomi held her ground. And when he confronted her in the West Wing hallway, surrounded by his entourage and half the student body, Naomi didn't back down. When he shoved her, she retaliated. A judo throw, clean and fast, sent Grayson sprawling across the marble floor. Phones recorded everything. Within hours, the video had gone viral across Sterling's internal networks. The scholarship girl had humiliated the school's uncrowned king. But Naomi knew it wasn't over. Grayson was patient and ruthless. Soon came the false accusations, academic dishonesty, threats, altered records. Teachers began treating her differently. Some friends pulled away. But Naomi found unexpected allies. Travis King, a quiet observer with a hacker's mind, and Sienna, who knew Grayson better than anyone, stepped into her corner. They joined forces with Leo Cruz, a wheelchair-bound tech prodigy, and together, they began to expose the system Grayson upheld. They uncovered emails, surveillance footage, bribes. They found proof that Principal Whitaker was on Hale Global's payroll. And they planted recorders in the places no one thought to look. One captured a conversation between Grayson and his father, the true mastermind behind Sterling's elite grooming operation. The recording revealed a chilling truth. The school was a front, a laundering mechanism to place controlled elites into positions of global power. When Naomi confronted Grayson with the truth, he didn't deny it. Even if you beat me, he said, Sterling remains. The machine keeps running. But Naomi wasn't done. She accepted his final challenge, the Phoenix fight, an underground tournament where rules didn't exist. Grayson intended to break her publicly. But she trained harder than ever, every punch a message. She fought through his enforcers, battered and bloodied, until only he remained. And when the final blow landed, it wasn't just Grayson who fell. Naomi launched the footage. Every student, every screen, every device across campus displayed the truth, the corruption, the manipulation, the lies. By morning, the gates of Sterling Academy weren't just open, they were stormed by investigators, reporters, and agents. Principal Whitaker resigned. Grayson and his father were placed under federal investigation. The board dissolved, and Sterling, for the first time in its long, glittering history, belonged to the students. Naomi didn't stay for the celebrations. She walked off campus quietly, her name already etched into Sterling's legacy. Not as a token, as a reckoning. Part 2. The reckoning continues. News of the fall of Grayson Hale sent shockwaves through the national media. Sterling Academy, once a symbol of power and prestige, was now at the center of one of the biggest scandals in the country. Whistleblower coverage ran on every major network, and Naomi Blake's name became synonymous with courage. She was invited to interviews, offered book deals, and received invitations from Ivy League universities. But Naomi turned them all down. "I didn't do this to be famous," she told Sienna in the quiet dorm room they still used as headquarters. "I did it to change things." And change was coming. With Dean Whitaker gone, Sterling was temporarily placed under a special oversight committee. Naomi was offered a seat on the new board, but she declined. "The system needs to be rebuilt by more than just one voice," she said. Instead, she nominated 5 students from different backgrounds, income levels, and races to represent a new kind of leadership. Meanwhile, Travis King used his digital prowess to continue scanning Sterling's data systems. He discovered more than just corruption, he found patterns. Names. A list of students from underserved communities who had been deliberately blocked from attending through manipulated scores or disqualified interviews. Sterling's diversity, it turned out, had been curated. Naomi and her allies made it their mission to bring those stories forward. With the help of a National Education Foundation, they launched the True Scholars Initiative, ensuring dozens of talented students got the chance they deserved. Still, not everyone welcomed the change. Some alumni protested. Anonymous letters arrived daily. The Hale family, even under investigation, still held power in distant circles. Naomi knew this wasn't over. "You shook the system," Leo warned her one night. But systems don't die easy. That truth proved itself when Naomi returned home to Chicago during winter break. Her family's home had been broken into. Nothing was stolen. Just a message carved into her bedroom wall. "Know your place." Her father, ever the Marine, called in old contacts for protection. Naomi didn't flinch, but she didn't ignore it either. She returned to Sterling more determined than ever. "They want to scare me into silence," she said to the student body at a surprise assembly. "But fear only works if we stop speaking. And I'm just getting started." The entire hall erupted in applause. In the months that followed, Naomi helped draft the Sterling Charter, a new foundation document that redefined what leadership, equity, and power looked like within the school. For the first time, scholarship students were on equal footing. Transparency became a requirement. The council was restructured. Sienna ran for president and won. Travis was appointed head of systems integrity. Leo launched a tech lab where anyone could build, create, and innovate. As for Naomi, she stayed in the shadows, mentoring, guiding, building. Her goal wasn't to rule. It was to ensure no one ever would again. And though Grayson Hale remained under federal watch, Naomi knew men like him didn't vanish. They waited. They adapted. But so did she. Because Sterling Academy was no longer a forge for the elite. It had become a proving ground for something far more powerful. Justice.